of course, on the importance of fertilizers and for them to register on government websites. We'll be giving you the details on that in our subsequent bulletins. I want us to get into what's trending now, and I'm joined by Anne Veronica on what's happening in the continent, especially on the social media platforms. Anne, good morning.
Good morning, Fatea.
Good to see you. Let's start off, of course, here in Kenya. The CS for Interior, that is Professor Kithure Kindiki. He's talking about removing roadblocks and, replacing them with patrol police. Tell us about that.
Yeah, he said that he's going to remove the roadblocks and replace them with patrol police. It was a directive from the president, and it is aimed at curbing the bribery situation, because actually netizens are happy about it, because they're saying the public service vehicle drivers were suffering from it, and most of the stops they had to pay kitu kidogo. Yeah. They had to give kitu kidogo, and they were really suffering from it. They're saying that it is a very good move. They're also requesting that if the cameras that were governing the speed could be brought back, it will make a lot of sense to them. Yes.
Another thing that he talked about, of course, was the passport situation, and he said he will get rid of the cartels at Nyayo House. And when it comes to passport, a lot of people struggle with it, especially when it comes to the verification process. Tell us more about what he said about that, and how did people react on social media?
Kithure Kindiki said that he's well aware of the corruption situation that is going on in Nyayo House, and he's even thinking of terming it a crime scene if that does not stop, and he will do everything in his power to make sure that the corruption situation is reduced. He said that anyone who gives a bribe, takes a bribe so that they can issue passports, will be in trouble. Netizens are saying that they have applied, some of them have applied for passports since January. It's heading to the end of the year, they have not received information about it. One person actually said that he had a similar situation, but his passport was processed within 3 months because he had to part with 10,000 Kenyan shillings. Right. Can you imagine that much amount of money?
Yeah.
And his passport miraculously showed up 2 days later.
Because he paid something small.
Yeah.
Right. And of course, that's what the government is planning to do, to just curtail that behavior. But still in the country, we talk about now university loans, and students will still get admitted despite whatever that's happening with the loans. Tell us about that.
Yes, the Cabinet Secretary, Machogu, has said that the universities should admit students whether they have paid the fees or not, whether the loans are disbursed or not, because the application of the loans is a kind of a complicated process, according to most of the students who are taking part in the process. They're saying that it is taking long, and it's because a lot of students are applying. Actually, the institution say that it is receiving around 8,000 applications per day, and it is becoming slow to process the applications because of the so many of them being submitted in a day. Yeah. And actually, the CS also said that if anyone is being admitted to the university without an ID, they can use their KCSE certificate or birth certificate to apply.
Yeah. Yes. I hope it does really apply, because I know a lot of students really struggle with that. Yeah.
Netizens are actually hoping that most of them will get a chance to get the scholarships, because many of them deserve it.
Yeah, sure. Let's talk about something else now. On social media, TikTok, the conversation has been very big. There's a petitioner who's gone to court, of course, and said that TikTok should be banned because of several issues, including some morality issues. But the TikTok CEO had a meeting with the president yesterday. Tell us about that.
Actually, netizens were not believing that the meeting was going to happen, but netizens, you can see haikuwa story ya jaba. So yes, the meeting happened, right, and there's some really good news that came out of that meeting. The TikTok CEO, Mr. Chiu, said that he's going to establish a Kenyan office that is going to handle all the operations of the platform in the continent. That is a very good news. Actually, it's a privilege for Kenya to have such an office,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. He also said that he's going to hire more Kenyans to work for the platform. Another good news.
Right.
Now, here's where the bad news comes in to those who have inappropriate content on the platform, because the move to ensure that each content posted on the platform suits the community standards is going to make sure that all the inappropriate content is deleted. So if you have inappropriate, offensive content, it's going to be deleted soon.
Let me ask you, are you on TikTok?
Yes, I am.
How do you find that app?
It's very, if you're a content creator, it's very challenging because you have to keep up. And yeah, it requires a lot of time. But if you're a viewer, it's hella funny. But past midnight, just watch out. Don't let your kids
Is
there.
it really true? Yes, I'm also on TikTok, but is it really true that past certain hours, there's certain behaviors that is seen on that platform?
Yeah, but you know, it also depends on the algorithm that your app has.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I view memes mostly, so most of the things that are going to appear on my For You page are memes. If you view things to do with DIYs, most of the things that are going to appear are such. So if you continue viewing inappropriate content, did I say more?
Yeah, right. I think it's all about the algorithms at the end of the day, because
Yeah.
it's what you actually watch or subscribe to, then you get to see such kind of content. But of course, that's a debate. And today at 10 a.m., we'll be having that discussion with the petitioner himself, who's taken that to court. But let's move on now and away from Kenya and talk about BRICS. The BRICS summit is happening in South Africa and Ethiopia. Tell us about Ethiopia and BRICS.
Actually, I will start with explaining what BRICS is.
Right.
BRICS stands for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and now South Africa. South Africa joined recently in 2010, but the it was initially BRIC was formed in 2001. South Africa joined in 2010, and currently they are planning to admit more nations into the organization starting next year, January 1st, 2024. And among these countries that will be admitted are Egypt and Ethiopia. Netizens are happy for the new countries that are going to be there, but some of them are fearing the dollar situation because people thought that BRICS is going to threaten the situation, the dollar, and BRICS said that that is not their plan. Their plan is not to challenge the dollar, which is the preferred global currency.
Yeah. I mean, it's a conversation that's going on, especially the part of really threatening the dollar. But finally, the final thing I think we should talk about is the former US President Donald Trump. His mugshot was released. And people have really been talking about it. Tell us about that.
They had actually been waiting for that mugshot for so long, you know, looks like that, and people were not expecting that look. They thought he was going to make a very funny face or a controversial facial expression. You know how Trump is very spontaneous. Yeah, and he submitted himself to the Fulton County Hall, where he was supposed to face charges of trying to overturn the elections, the 2020 elections, and he denied other 13 charges that were brought against him. And actually, this is the 4th time that the former president, the 45th president of